Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Go4LoL. My name is Benvarmeren and today I'm joined by no other than Bobby. Our first game, yeah, here's Bobby, but our first game of today is going to be between the Teamspeak crew and the Dutch Warriors on the red side. So we're going to have an amazing game, but we're already into the pick and ban phase, so let's just jump straight into it.
So, sorry to interrupt you before. yeah, hi everyone. As you just said, we are going to have a really nice game as starting off today. We have the blue team, the TSC, the team that we are actually following by the... meanwhile, the DC is on the purple team. And let's see how it's gonna be this game. Starting from the first bans that are actually for the blue team, Nautilus, Lissandra and Eliza. While for the red team, or purple team, I do not know how to call it. Many people just say reds, but it's purple. But during the game people say reds, damn it. So, Malphite, Tankensha and Poppy as 3 bans. What do you think about these bans?
I like the bans coming from the blue team just because it's very crowd control focused, taking away all of these. Just make sure that they can play a team with more mobility, and especially someone like Gangplank, which is the first pick, will not suffer from too much crowd control. Of course he does have his oranges, I think it is, the fruit he eats to get away from crowd control.
Yes, oranges.
But still, if you pillar the crowd control on top of each other, then the orange aren't going to be saving you all the time, so I like the bans coming from those.
Yeah, true. We can see even that the first picks are already getting taken, starting from Lucian and Braum for the purple team, while Gangplank is just safe for the blue team, and it's real. It's AD carry probably. It's a quite nice pick and recently really played by many players. Going up against a Lucian, it's pretty much not that easy, especially because you do have a Braum supporting that Lucian, and it's gonna be quite hurting to be playing against them. Let's see who is gonna take the third pick. Hopefully it's gonna be some support that's able to completely deny the presence of that Braum. I would like to see a Morgana, for example. It's not really that bad of a pick, and there she goes! Damn it, I'm a genius! Oh god.
Well, the thing for the pick now for the Teamspeak crew is that they have Ashwell and they have Gangplank, so there's a lot of damage already on those 2 picks. But with that Morgana also coming in, you don't know where everybody is going, because Gangplank can go to the top lane and the mid lane. Ashwell can also go to the mid lane and in the bottom lane, and the same goes for Morgana. So right now you have a lot of flex picks, and the thing is, Lulu and Cockmore are still open. Cockmore is just such a strong AD carry right now, and for the Dutch Warriors, they picked Lucian in their first rotation, where they could have gotten, for example, Lulu, Cockmore. So I feel like Cockmore would have been a better pick if you could have been able to protect him, but you really couldn't be able to do it because it's all, you don't get the first 3 picks, so you could have gotten counter picks so easily by the Teamspeak crew. But now the Teamspeak crew, they have a chance to lock in some more stronger picks.
Oh, and we might see a Rumble jungle here. It's gonna be quite interesting to see that champion played in this level. It's really a champion that currently on the LCS level has been really picked, and I do like him because deals a lot of damage, cleans up fast all the camps he is into, and well, I do not have a really good idea of how he actually works in jungle, but I do see that he works in the overall, and especially when anything comes, and we see that it's going to be Rumble jungle and stopping Europe for this unlucky one.
And for that Rumble, you know, Rumble, he's a strong jungler because he gets a lot of movement speed from Brutal Swiftness and the Runic Echoes, but he also has so much wave clear, so really there's a lot of ways to play around with that jungle, but also his mid-game power spikes are so strong, and I really like him in this composition that the Teamspeak crew have built, because you already have 2 strong mid-game champions with Twisted Fate and Gangplank, so expect to see a lot of mid-game oriented plays, just because they have those mid-game power spikes with the Trinity Forces. So really, that's the point where we should be looking for a lot of picks, and there are also a lot of durability on the side of the Teamspeak crew, because you even have Fiora, you have Morgana as well that can get people, catch them out of position. So just a lot of damage, a lot of ways to duel around the map for the Teamspeak crew, and that Morgana pick is really going to be very important, I feel like. But then again, Fiora and Gangplank, all of these 4-man threat composition, it's really going to be hard to stop this team that the Teamspeak crew have built. And then on the other hand, let's take a look at the Dutch Warriors, because they have Trundle in top lane, you have Braum as support, Nidalee as jungler, Lucian and Victor. And the thing is, you have Trundle in the top lane. He's going to have a hard time against Fiora, because Fiora is that split pushing champion. And then you have the strong bottom lane. So the strong bottom lane can deny, for example, the Ezreal, because Ezreal really isn't that strong of a laner, whereas Lucian is more of a lane bully. So that's really a point where we should also be looking at the Braum and Lucian lane to come out. Then Nidalee, she's a strong jungler as well, because you bring poke. You bring some good ganks if you're able to land your spears as well, because that means you can deal so much damage, because her kit is so strong. Once you get to Runic Echo as well, she's packing so much damage, and she's really a champion you have to look out for. And then one of the champions I really love is the Victor, because Victor in the mid lane, he's a control mage, and he brings so much damage. I love this champion, but just because he brings the damage, he brings a little bit of crowd control, and he brings wave clear. And I feel like this is really strong in the current meta, especially against this team composition that wants to group up in the mid lane, or in any other lanes in the mid game, just to tear down towers. So especially this pick, I feel like it's going to be so important for the Dutch Warriors. But now we are in a 3-minute delay, and we'll take a short break. But when we return, we will be in with the first game in this round of 32. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back. And now we are in game in this first game of today in this week's Go4LoL. My name, as you might still remember, is Jesper Benvarmeren, and I'm joined by Bobby. So we're going to have a first good game today, and I'll pass it over to Bobby and then we'll get right on the way.
So, let's see already what's gonna happen into this game. As you introduced, these two teams are pretty interesting to be seeing one against the other. We have a Fiora and a Trundle by top lane. A Fiora Trundle that's going to be a really interesting fight to be looking at. And especially, as you can see, we can see that both of them started off with the corruption potion. So it's gonna be quite interesting, especially to see how long they're gonna stand in the way of each other. Then we have the Rumble Jungle. I will never stop enjoying saying these words. Rumble Jungle. It's just awesome to say it. Going against this Nidalee, and yeah, both of them are pretty interesting. But I do trust that currently Nidalee is going to have a lot more of impact in the early game. Let's see how Rumble is gonna go against this kind of early game from the Nidalee. Then we have the Gangplank by mid lane. You love Victor, as I heard. And yes, indeed, it's a pretty strong champion by the mid lane. It's gonna be another interesting matchup by the middle lane, because this Gangplank, I've never seen a Gangplank going against a Victor. Well, he can deny the field, the magnetic field, so no stun for this Gangplank, but still it's pretty important to see. It's like now, geez, the mage onto this Gangplank from Victor. And last one is Ezreal Morgana by bottom lane against Lucian and Braum. So, what do you think? Who's gonna win this game? Who's gonna take the advantage?
Well, it really all depends on how the two teams play it out, but still, as I talked about in the pick and ban phase, the Teamspeak crew, they have so much damage that they can pile out in this mid game once they reach that spike, because you have Fiora. She's not going to be someone that really hits a great power spike in the mid game. Well, at least not a huge power spike as Ezreal and Gangplank, but she's still going to be bringing some damage. She's going to be there to keep split pushing, and then for the Ezreal and the Gangplank, that's really the two things we have to look out for, because as I said, they have that mid-game power spike with the 24s, and that's where we're going to be seeing towers go down. So at that point, the Rumble in the jungle should also be very, very strong, because Rumble, he's again all about the mid-game. He has a lot of damage in his kit. He builds the runic echoes, which is also such a strong item in the early game to mid game, and his build path is just so good, because you go for the runic echoes, you go into a Liandry's and even boots, so you get so much movement speed, you get a lot of ways of getting around the map, and you get that wave clear as well, so you're always going to be there as a pestilent for your opponent, and you're going to be stronger in the mid games where you want to take down towers, and that's exactly the point we have to look out for the Teamspeak crew. But even then, they can make a lot of plays around the map before that, because you have a double teleport.
Indeed, and as we just saw, this Trundle is pretty aggressive onto the Fiora. Pillar and a series of bites were enough to force the Fiora under his own tower. Her own tower. It's pretty interesting to see how this Trundle is behaving onto her. It's pretty strong, obviously, a Trundle in the early game, because thanks to the bite, the pillar, the bonus attack speed, thanks to his field of movement, he's really a lane bully, I can call him. But many champions are able to deal with him in the early game, because until level 6, he is not that strong, or at least he should not be that strong. But against champions like DPS mage as Fiora, you can feel his power even before the level 6. He is really a strong champion. You can see that Rumble already went back and finished his own jungle item just in a few moments. Really nice start from this Rumble. And Nidalee instead is just counter jungling as Rumble is currently doing, so it's a pretty fast exchange of jungle camps from these two junglers.
And, you know, Oh, I just forgot what I wanted to say. Okay, so it was the Trundle and the Fiora I wanted to talk about. Okay, so the thing about Trundle and Fiora is that Trundle, he's just more tanky here in the early game. So someone like Fiora, who isn't really a great split pusher already from the get-go, is going to have some trouble against Trundle. But right now, if you look at the top lane, you can see that I'm actually seeing Cubon. I think he's ahead in terms of CS. So he's just been playing patiently, trying to get all the farm that he has, and he doesn't have to force anything because, again, the Teamspeak crew, they want to play for the mid-game power spike. You don't have to force anything in the early game.
Well, and here we see again Trundle going pretty aggressive onto this Fiora. Still, exchange is pretty even for the two of them. Nothing really heavy happened, so this top lane is still gonna be quite interesting to see moving on. Meanwhile, even in the bot lane, the situation is pretty aggressive. We see this Morgana laning a lot of Qs, a lot of bindings that are pretty much pressuring the Lucian Braum comp. Pretty interesting as well to see the interaction between these two duels on the bottom lane. Especially because, as I said before, since there is a Braum, the Morgana really has a huge role. Oh, this Morgana. Missing that Q was pretty shameful from her. Anyways, I was just saying, the Morgana really is felt a lot into this game, because simply, not only in the laning phase, but even out of the laning phase, he can deny a lot of Braum's crowd control, and Braum is a really strong one into both laning game and mid-late game composition. He's pretty strong into supporting against him. Well, let's see how it might turn this out.
Remick failing a little bit on those I'm not quite sure it's barrels in the mid lane. I guess you can call them powder kegs, can you even call them, but now Rumble's coming to the mid lane. This is 6.
We have this Rumble's ultimate going in. The flash from Victor might be enough to get out. No, he's not, but still he manages to get the kill over Rumble. Even Italy somehow got the assist. I do not know why, probably a trap or something like that, but still, it's 1 kill for the blue team, 1 kill for the red team, but the first blood goes to the blue team.
And in the end, Rakanov, he had to burn both his flash and his ignite, so you really just essentially traded a flash and an ultimate for 2 summoners on the side of Rakanov. And this means that someone like Tabasco, that now is getting closer to having his runic echoes, can do a return gank and even get more out of it, because Remick, he's also going to have his ult up in not so long, so they can keep on doing these return ganks. And actually in the top lane and even in the bottom lane, action's happening.
Whoa, pretty much heavy exchange from this Lucian in Israel. Lucian flashing forward, but Morgana saves him. Saves Israel. Double flash. Oh my god! Yeah, she manages to get out of range just in time before the 4th hit with Braum passive. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we have seen this Trundle going all in onto the Fiora, using even his ultimate, but nothing gained. But damn, this chase in the bottom lane was pretty hard, and Israel is still far ahead. It's pretty a much tense situation, and Israel is trying to farm, but really has a lot to deal with. And
if we go back to Rakanov, oh wait, actually, oh,
well,
never mind. But right. going back to oh wait, there, no, well, alright, for Victor.
What the hell's happening?
The thing I wanted to talk about with Victor is that he was forced to go and farm in the jungle just because you didn't know where Tabasco was, so you were forced to go and farm there because you don't want to overextend when you don't have anything to contribute if you're going to be caught out. Now, G-Lord, you might be in a lot of trouble.
Unengaged here because this Morgana went out with so low HP, and Rumble is gonna get caught off guard, but this Morgana is not gonna get out safe. Meanwhile, in the top lane, this Fiora tries the revenge time, going with the grand challenge of flash, another counter flash. He's under the tower, might go all in, but obviously tank are not so easy to towers dive, and Trundle is getting out safe from that one. But still, 2 kills for the red team, and nothing gained by the blue team. Pretty nice exchange there by the red team.
And definitely, oh wait, Remick might be in a lot of trouble.
He might be, but still, he's close to both his own towers. Victor pretty aggressive there, but still not enough to damage to be able to pull out and Trundle again onto this Fiora by the top lane. Pretty aggressive, but still it's not easy to catch a Fiora.
No, it's definitely not easy to catch a Fiora. Not when she has. Oh, she doesn't even have a soul up, but she's a champion that's able to turn around very easily. And now for the red team, they got 2 kills. They got 1 on Victor and 1 on Lucian. So it's really good for them to get these kills onto their carries, because this means that they'll have an easier time fighting against the Teamspeak crew once you hit that mid-game power spike for the Teamspeak crew. But still, despite them having 2 kills, they're only ahead around 100 gold, and that doesn't really matter too much, because in the end, the farm is still what gets you the gold. And all of the farm that is on the side of the Teamspeak crew, the gold lead is definitely coming from the bottom lane on Ezreal. And Ezreal, who's ahead and going for the blue build, he's going to get there faster and faster, and that means that he's just going to be even stronger when you come to the team fights, because he's going to have his tier stacked up very soon. But now you can see in the mid lane, Tabasco, he's taking a lot of damage from Rakanov, and Rakanov was one of the 2 that got a lot of kills. Now D-Lord,
oh, this damage might be caught, but the Flash manages to get out in time. But oh, Victor's laser does not hit, but he's caught off of guard as well. The counter attack from the red team manages to take down Rumble, but that Victor is not gonna get out safe. Meanwhile, it's top lane, this Fiora is pretty aggressive onto the Trundle that manages to use his ultimate and heal up a bit. Pretty much aggressive plays there. Very well played by the red team onto this counter attack, but still the kill onto that Victor. Oh, wow, and poor Morgana especially.
And right now, essentially, the Teamspeak crew, oh wait, Cuban wants to dive this, I'm pretty sure.
He might be able to dive, the passive is there, but he's still not much of health. He manages to land the grand challenge, but the tower is there, mate! You cannot dive a Trundle that easily! And the kill goes into Trundle's hands. Quite easy there to get the kill, wow.
And now with all of the kills going over to the side of the Dodge Warriors, they are creeping ahead in terms of gold. So, as you can see, they're moving towards the dragon. They want to secure that objective and just make sure that they're able to get the Dragon's Wave and the Dragon's Dominance once they're able to do that. Now Tabasco might pick up a kill on Kupsa.
Wow. Then this damage from Rumble, but that Trundle was too much far ahead and got punished by this Rumble that manages to take the kill, but leaving up this free dragon to the red team that now goes back with an objective that's really important for the game.
And it's very good for Tabasco to finally get a kill. Oh, Cuban?
Whoa. And this Fiora manages to find his Nidalee in her own jungle. Victor coming in to save her, and he manages to. This Fiora is quite aggressive, but Victor as a mage, shooting is not something you must underestimate.
But as I was saying, Tabasco, it's very good that he finally got a kill, because as a Rumble you want to be snowballing the game, and you haven't exactly been doing that. You've only been part of the 3 kills. Of course, that's 100 kill participation on the side of the Teamspeak crew, but you've also been killed 3 times, and that's 50% of the kills that the Dutch Warriors they have gotten. So right now you're starting to slowly fall behind, and as a Rumble that wants to be strong here in the early to mid game, that's not very good for you. But then again, you still have the Ezreal that's doing very good, and you have the Gangplank that can also help you through to the mid game, where they'll just take all of the focus onto them, and you'll be able to keep farming and get to a point where you can safely enter these team fights and actually contribute to them.
Oh, this might be a trial engaged by the blue team that almost manages to get that Lucian Morgana, getting a few stacks from Braum, but still not enough. The damage from the bottom lane is really strong by both of the duos, so it's gonna be pretty interesting to see who is gonna get the next fight. But as we were just saying, Rumble got 50% of the deaths of his own team, and as I was saying before, Rumble in the early game is pretty hard to be playing with, and especially because you do have an Italy on the other side, very movable champion against a not movable. And this Italy Flash is gonna get in bottom lane. Ezreal Flash is gonna get out. And maybe the last hit tower, yes, manages to get the kill. And Lucian going down by Gambling's ultimate. Meanwhile, triple kill from this Gambling, getting even a kill onto the Braum. And even top lane is gonna be worth it for the blue team. Manages to land the kill in a tower dive against the Trundle. Rambo and Fiora against the Trundle. Damn this language. Anyway, middle lane, this Victor manages to take the tower, but it's gonna be matched up by a bottom lane and the top lane tower going down probably. The 1-4-2. I do not know how much worth it is for this Victor.
And now the Teamspeak crew, they turn on the heat. They want to get a lot of kills. They got that. They got a triple kill onto Remick. And for someone like Remick, who wants to be stronger here in the mid game, now you have around 2,000 gold. That means that you aren't very far away from getting your Infinity Edge. And when you get that Infinity Edge, you're already on the path to go to the late game, because that brings a lot of damage. Especially because your powder kicks will deal more damage once you get more crit. So for someone like Remick to get all of those kills, that's so good. But in the end, the Teamspeak crew also got out ahead because they got 2 towers. So such a good trade for the Teamspeak crew, and nothing gave over to the Dutch Warriors. And now they have to find a way to really get the pressure back on, because you still aren't that far behind. It's only 3,000 gold.
Indeed, the fact that they are a bit behind is going to impact a lot the game, especially because Nidalee is not that champion that really stacks well going on with the game. She really deals a lot of damage and it's a versatile champion, but still her damage is going to be not countered but overpowered by Rambo's scaling into the late game. Rambo really has a lot for the game. Whoa, that is real. It's going almost down because of that Victor's mage. A Victor that really does not show mercy, just spamming lasers and risks taken from that Ezreal. An ultimate maybe from an ultimate storm from this Victor could have been the last hit onto the Ezreal. This was really too much far ahead into that lane.
Definitely a Thunderlord's decree from Victor, and even an Ignite could have been the death of Ezreal, but now they're fighting again.
The trial of engage from the blue team. This Rumble managing to land the ultimate, and once again this Gameplay with his own ultimate, the Cannon Barrage is gonna get the kill. Morgana manages to bind up and lock this Lucian off his own team. Whoa! Was that a barrel? Because I have seen just explosions onto this Braum. The kill onto this Braum was really awesome by the Gangplank. Another tower is going down and this blue team is really taking advantage.
Okay, so I talked about how Rumble has a lot of damage just from his kit, and that's also a thing that makes him so strong in the jungle, because you aren't going to get as much gold as you would get in the top lane. And this means that Tabasco, now that he has his Runic Echoes and the Sorcerer's Shoes, is packing a lot of damage. Something you can see the Teamspeak crew really taking advantage of. And playing around Remick's ult as well, the Cannon Barrage is so strong with the Equalizer as well. And even in the top lane, you can't get your tank into the team fights for the Dutch Warriors, because Kupstud, he's busy being in the top lane, trying to wave clear against Cubon. So really, the Teamspeak crew, they have a lot of ways to play around the map, because you just need Fiora in the top lane and then you can force the engages. And now you got that inner turret in the mid lane. Now you should just rotate to the bottom lane and keep Fiora pushing in the top lane, because Dragon is respawning. So you'd like to get that, but it looks like it is going to be the Dutch Warriors going for that already. But still, bottom lane is the next objective to take for the Teamspeak crew.
I am just looking at Gamplank's build currently, and one thing that's really bothering me is why does he have the Dark Seal? He has a Dark Seal with 10 stocks, so AP for him indeed, and mana regeneration. But what a choice! I do not know what's gonna take him advantage it for. Okay, he might be able to heal up a bit more. He has a lot more of mana regeneration and mana itself. But well, I do not know how it might work. But this Fiora is surely not going that easy. to get out from the top lane. She doesn't manage to parry the stun from Victor's gravitational field. Gambling's ultimate going in, but it's not enough. But the blue team now is gathering on the top lane. This Victor is going to be left alone by the Trundle that teleports out the way. Almost getting the kill, this Victor onto the Morgana, but still not enough to damage, and a kill going into the blue team's hands. And as I was just saying, this Gangplank, without counting that item, has 7 kills, 187 minions, the Trinity Force completed, and he still needs to go back.
He has 52k gold in his pocket right now, Remick, and once he goes back, he's just going to get so many items, and I mean, it's going to be disgusting to see how many items he's going to get. Now, Lucian, he might be in a lot of trouble because Cuban, he went to the bottom lane, but aren't able to catch up to him.
Well, he managed to get out pretty fast, using his ultimate just to pressure off this Fiora, but still not enough, or at least this Fiora hasn't got that much of a movement speed to get on him. So, yeah, as I just said, I really am scared to see what's gonna this Gangplank buy. Let's see.
Yeah,
he's going back there now.
But then, figure, now see, he bought the Essence Reaver, so he's, okay.
What?
Oh wait,
he
changes it to an Infinity. Okay, he changes it to an Infinity. Wait, what? He's trolling us.
Okay, Infinity Edge and movement speed boost. Oh, this Fiora gets cut off guard, and yes, gets taken down by this Nidalee. Pretty easy kill instead. Whoa, that spear in the face.
Okay, so Remick, he got his Infinity Edge, and then he got a BF sword and a Cloak of Agility. So he's packing a lot of crit chance right now. Around 45, if my math is not wrong, but still a lot of crit. So he's heading into this later stages of the game build, and now Seraph Jolling, you're in a lot of trouble, mate.
Oh, this Nidalee, it's almost getting out, but no, it's real safe. Meanwhile, in the top lane, 101 Gangplank wrecks this Randall. And Brown getting a kill. Whoa! Meanwhile, in the top lane, this Victor manages to get the kill onto the Gangplank, so the shutdown goes into his hands, and that's a really strong shutdown, and it's really important one. Oh, meanwhile, this poor Victor is facing the no magic damage tank. Poor guy. It's gonna take a while to be taking that down.
It will definitely take a while to take down that Banner of Command minion. But now, if we could see the Teamspeak crew group up or just organize once once Remick comes back to life, I'd like to see them go or send Cuban to the top lane. Then the rest could group up in the mid lane, or you could even send Remick to the bottom lane, because you have to double teleport. They're not up quite yet, but it's going to be very soon before they come up. And if they could do the 1v1 pushing strategy, then you could force all of the pressure from the Dutch Warriors out to the side lanes, and you wouldn't really mind doing that, because that means you can take towers easily, because already now Cuban, he's having an easy time against the stood on the Trundle in the bottom lane. That would mean that someone like Rakanov would go to the bottom lane, and he's the wave clear for the Dutch Warriors right now, so that would really hurt them quite a lot in the mid lane, where Mafosky, Tabasco, and even D-Lord could then take the tower.
Yes, indeed. So let's see how the Teamspeak crew is gonna go into this game and trying to possibly get closer to an ending. We have to recap currently and check that the blue team has 6Ks and 500 more gold onto the red team, 4 kills more and 2 towers more, but the red team managed to get 2 dragons out of 2. So it's a pretty interesting situation right now. Oh, this Nidalee gets cut by the Morgana, and the barrels are going out. Even the Cannon Barrage is gonna get the kill onto the Nidalee. This Rumble is a bit too much ahead, but it's not going down, and instead he's splashing onto the Victor using his flamethrower to get the kill. Another kill into the blue team's hands. Oh my, this Trundle might be the next target, and it's not going down. Manages to flash out away. Lucian and Brown coming to support him. Ezreal tanking a bit of tower, but still not too much to worry about. Now Morgana is coming back, but the blue team meanwhile is taking the top lane tower and possibly the top lane inhibitor, and that's exactly what's going down right now.
And that's the power of a team that are as far ahead as the Teamspeak crew are, because you just need to find and engage, you need to use your equalizer on top of your cannon barrels, and you already have quite a lot of damage just coming from those two spells. So really, the Teamspeak crew, they are in a position where they just need to find engages, and then they can go from there, because they are as far ahead as they are, and all they really have to look out for is the Victor pick, because Lucian, he's slowly getting there. He has his Essence Reaver and his Rapid Fire Cannon, but the winning condition for the Dutch Warriors is that Victor, he's the wave clear, he's the damage, and you need to take him down.
The point is that the red team manages again to gain another dragon, this time because the blue team lowered their guard and went back without doing nothing, but meanwhile Gambling doing a lot of damage onto this Nidalee. The cannon barrage goes in, the grand challenge from Fiora onto the Nidalee, that's probably going down because she's left alone, and in fact she is going down. Now it's a 4-on-5, the blue team is gonna push this mid lane like there is no tomorrow, or even going to take that Baron, simply because the Nidalee is down. And yes, that's a nice choice. I have not thought about it. Damn.
I mean, the Baron is just a safer choice right now, and really the only thing that could steal the Baron would be a laser coming from Victor. But Mafosky, he's taking Victor away.
And yes, even the kill onto the Brown, thanks to the barrels, and even the kill there, the Trundle is going to get stopped by Morgana's ultimate, and the bind goes in onto the Lucian, double kill for this Gambling, and the kill, last one, goes into Rumble's hands. Meanwhile, Victor was forced to go back, because as you said before, Mofosky went right in front of him to deal as much damage as he could and force him to move back. Really lot of damage here from that Ezreal that managed to make his team get that free Baron.
And now they will get an inhibitor as well. Death timers are still 20 seconds up, so they could continue going, because you still have so much damage to take down towers. And really, Victor's however up, so there are some wave clear coming in. But if you can just find a pick onto Victor, then the game would be so much over.
There is that caster minion with the shield that's not going down that easily. Meanwhile, oh, this Fiora takes the first tower, but Rumble is going to get taken. Caught off guard. Caught from the... Oh, the team fight, and the Ezreal getting the kill, and the Gantling getting the kill onto Lucian with the barrels. And it's going to be game possibly, because there are many minions. 4 of the blue team still up. The grand challenge going on to the Trundle maybe is going down, but still Ezreal manages to take the Nexus and the victory for the Teamspeak crew.
Very well played by the Teamspeak crew. Again, you didn't have to force anything in the early game, so they pumped it up once they reached that mid game power spike, and then they just really took the game out of the hands of the Dutch Warriors that were doing best in the early game. They just weren't ready for all the damage that could come out from the Teamspeak crew, and we talked about how the Rumble, he had a lot of damage in his kit, and he was really instrumental once we reached that mid-game power spike for both Remick and Tabasco, because they could play around each other and pick up so much gold for the Teamspeak crew.
Yes, indeed. Yet, see, even in the last scoring, as you can tell, Gambling currently gave a lot of himself into this game, dealing a lot of damage with the barrels. Very well placed cannon barrage that went everywhere, getting kills. Even that triple kill in the bottom lane at the start of the game was awesome to look at. Ezreal never died, but that's a normal thing about an Ezreal that's good to play Ezreal itself. Because an Ezreal with the blue build, it's almost impossible to get caught, because he can jump everywhere. He can spam every single spell, and so the arcane shift, it's like a flash every few seconds. Just because he can spam it, landing some Qs is not that hard. So, well, it's been the game. Very well played by the Teamspeak crew.
Yes, and now we will take a small break. When we return, we will have round of 16th, and then we will be right back with the next game, where we will be following the Teamspeak crew. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.